The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with excitement. Hundreds of alien species from across the universe gathered for an emergency meeting. The room was a sea of strange colors and shapes. Some aliens looked like giant insects, others like walking plants. In the center, on a raised platform, sat the council leaders. At the entrance, two human representatives stood nervously. John Smith, a tall man with graying hair, and Maria Chen, a young woman with determined eyes, waited for their turn to speak. They knew something was wrong, but they didn't know how bad it would be. "Bring in the humans," boomed a voice. It belonged to Zixthor, the head of the council. He looked like a blue octopus with glowing eyes. John and Maria walked forward. The room went quiet. All eyes were on them. Zixthor spoke again, his voice cold and angry. "Humans of Earth, you have been called here to answer for your crimes." John stepped forward. "Crimes? What crimes? We've followed all the rules since joining the council." A murmur went through the crowd. Zixthor's eyes flashed dangerously. "Silence," he shouted. "Your so-called rules are a joke to us. You claim to be peaceful, yet your history is full of war. You say you respect nature, but you destroy your own planet. You pretend to be civilized, but you are nothing but barbarians." Maria tried to speak, but another council member cut her off. This one looked like a shimmering cloud of gas. "We have watched your species for centuries," the gas being said. "You fight amongst yourselves. You pollute your world. You create weapons that can destroy entire planets. You are too dangerous to be part of this council." John's face turned red with anger. "That's not fair. We've changed. We've grown. Yes, we made mistakes, but we've learned from them. We have so much to offer the galaxy." Zixthor slammed his tentacle down. "Enough. The decision has been made. Humans are hereby banished from the Galactic Council. You will return to your solar system and stay there. Any human ship found outside your system will be destroyed. This is your only warning." The room erupted in cheers and jeers. Many aliens shouted insults at John and Maria. Others looked away, ashamed but unwilling to speak up. Maria stepped forward, her voice shaking with emotion. "You're making a huge mistake. Humanity has overcome so much. We've united our planet, cured diseases, and reached the stars. We deserve a chance to prove ourselves." But her words fell on deaf ears. Zixthor waved his tentacles, and two large, robot-like guards appeared. "Escort the humans out," he ordered. "Make sure they leave immediately." As John and Maria were led away, they heard the council members laughing and celebrating. Their hearts were heavy, but a fire burned in their eyes. Outside the council chamber, John turned to Maria. "They think they've seen the last of us. They have no idea what humans are capable of when pushed into a corner." Maria nodded, a determined smile on her face. "They called us barbarians. Fine. Let's show them what these barbarians can do. Earth needs to know what happened here." They boarded their small ship, ignoring the jeers and insults from nearby aliens. As the ship took off, leaving the glittering Galactic Council space station behind, John and Maria sat in silence for a long moment. Finally, John spoke. "You know what this means, don't you? We're on our own now. No more alien technology, no more trade routes, no more protection." Maria's eyes gleamed with a mix of anger and excitement. "Good. We never needed them anyway. Humanity has always been at its best when facing impossible odds. This isn't the end, John. It's just the beginning." As their ship sped towards Earth, carrying news that would shock and enrage their entire species, neither John nor Maria could have imagined the chain of events they had just set in motion. The Galactic Council thought they had rid themselves of a problem. In reality, they had just awakened a sleeping giant. Back in the council chamber, as the celebrations continued, a few wise members exchanged worried glances. They had studied Earth's history. They knew that humans, when united against a common enemy, were capable of incredible things, but their concerns were drowned out by the general relief and happiness of the others. Little did they know, on a small blue planet in a quiet corner of the galaxy, a storm was brewing. A storm that would shake the very foundations of their comfortable, orderly universe. 5 years had passed since humanity's banishment from the Galactic Council. Earth was no longer the same. The shock of alien rejection had united the planet like never before. Old enemies became allies, and petty conflicts were forgotten. A new purpose burned in the hearts of every human: to prove the aliens wrong. On a secret space station orbiting Jupiter, the best minds of Earth gathered. They called it Project Phoenix, a symbol of humanity's rebirth from the ashes of rejection. The station was massive, a city in space, hidden from prying alien eyes by advanced cloaking technology. Dr. Emily Chen, daughter of Maria Chen, stood at a large window, watching Jupiter's swirling clouds. At 25, she was already one of the lead scientists on the project. Her mother's story had inspired her to push the boundaries of human knowledge. "Dr. Chen, you're needed in Lab 7, a voice called over the intercom. Emily sighed and turned away from the view. Another long day of work ahead. In Lab 7, a team of scientists huddled around a glowing cube. It pulsed with strange energy, casting eerie shadows on the walls. As Emily entered, her colleague Dr. James Wilson looked up with excitement in his eyes. "Emily, we did it," he exclaimed. "The energy core is stable. We can finally power the Nemesis." The Nemesis was humanity's secret weapon, a warship unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It combined Earth's best technology with reverse-engineered alien tech they'd managed to keep after the banishment. Emily placed her hand on the cube, feeling its power thrum through her body. "Incredible," she whispered. "With this, we can travel faster and further than any human ship before." Across the station, in a massive hangar, construction crews worked tirelessly on the Nemesis. The ship was enormous, sleek, and deadly. Its black hull seemed to absorb light, making it hard to look at directly. Captain Sarah Martinez, a veteran of Earth's old Space Force, walked along the ship's hull. She patted the cold metal affectionately. "Soon, old girl," she murmured. "Soon, we'll show those aliens what humans are made of." In the station's command center, General David Kumar received reports from around the solar system. Earth's defenses were stronger than ever. Hidden bases on Mars, Europa, and Titan housed fleets of smaller warships. But the Nemesis was the crown jewel of their efforts. "Sir," a young officer called out, "we're detecting an alien scout ship near Pluto. They haven't spotted us, but they're getting close to one of our sensor arrays." General Kumar frowned. The aliens occasionally sent ships to check on Earth, making sure humans stayed in their solar system. So far, they hadn't discovered any of the hidden bases or the space station. "Activate the long-range jammers," Kumar ordered, "and send a stealth team to relocate that sensor array. We can't risk discovery, not when we're so close." As the day progressed, the station buzzed with activity. In training rooms, soldiers practiced with new weapons and technologies. In labs, scientists pushed the boundaries of physics. In workshops, engineers fine-tuned systems that would make the Nemesis the most advanced ship in the galaxy. Emily found herself in a meeting with the project leaders. Holograms flickered around the table, showing the progress of various systems. "The reality-bending drive is ready," one scientist reported. "It'll allow the Nemesis to slip between dimensions, making it virtually untraceable. Weapon systems are at 95% completion," another added. "Our new plasma cannons can punch through any known alien shield." As the reports continued, Emily felt a mix of pride and anxiety. They had accomplished so much, but would it be enough? The galaxy was vast, and the aliens had a huge head start. After the meeting, Emily returned to her quarters. She picked up an old photo of her mother and John Smith, taken just after their return from the Galactic Council. Their faces were grim but determined. "We're almost ready, Mom," Emily whispered to the photo. "I hope you're proud of what we've become." A soft beep from her computer interrupted her thoughts. It was a message from Captain Martinez. Final systems checked tomorrow. Nemesis launches in 1 week. Emily's heart raced. After years of work, they were finally ready. Ready to leave their solar system. Ready to face the galaxy that had rejected them. Ready to show the aliens that humanity wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. As she prepared for bed, Emily couldn't help but smile. The aliens thought they had caged humanity. Instead, they had only made humans more determined, more united, and more dangerous than ever before. The Nemesis wasn't just a ship. It was humanity's statement to the galaxy. We're back, and this time, we're not asking for permission. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with activity. It had been 5 years since the humans were banished, and the memory of their departure had faded from most minds. Today, representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered for their annual meeting. Zixthor, still the head of the council, raised his tentacles for silence. The room quieted as he began to speak. "Esteemed colleagues," he said, his voice echoing through the hall, "we gather today to discuss the state of our glorious galaxy. Our first order of business is the expansion of trade routes in the Orion Arm." As Zixthor droned on, many council members fought to stay awake. Peace had made them complacent. Without the unpredictable humans around, galactic affairs had become routine and boring. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the station. Red lights flashed, and panic spread through the crowd. "What's happening?" shouted Zixthor, his usual composure shattered. A holographic screen appeared in the center of the room. On it, they saw a massive ship emerging from what looked like a tear in space itself. The ship was unlike anything they had ever seen, sleek, black, and radiating power. "Impossible," whispered Glixna, a moth-like alien known for her calm demeanor. "Our sensors didn't detect any approach. It just appeared." The ship dwarfed the Council's defensive fleet. As they watched, smaller crafts launched from its sides, taking up protective positions around it. In the Council chamber, chaos reigned. Some representatives hid under their seats, while others argued loudly about what to do. "Silence," roared Zixthor. "We must respond to this threat united." Just then, the giant screen flickered, and a face appeared. It was a human face. Captain Sarah Martins of the Nemesis. "Greetings, Galactic Council," she said, her voice cool and confident. "It's been a while. Did you miss us?" The room fell silent. Shock, fear, and disbelief painted the faces of every alien present. Zixthor stepped forward, trying to regain control of the situation. "Humans, you dare violate the terms of your banishment. Leave immediately, or face destruction." Sarah smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Destroy us. With what? Those outdated ships you call a fleet. I'm afraid you're not in a position to make threats, Zixthor." As if to emphasize her point, the Nemesis fired a warning shot. A beam of energy lanced out, vaporizing a small asteroid near the station. The council members watched in horror as the asteroid simply ceased to exist. "Now," Sarah continued, "we're here to talk. You'll find we're not the same humans you banished 5 years ago. We've grown, we've evolved, and we're here to take our place in the galaxy, whether you like it or not." On board the Nemesis, Emily Chen stood behind Captain Martinez, watching the aliens' reactions on the screen. It was satisfying to see the fear in their eyes, but a part of her felt sad. This wasn't how first contact was supposed to be. "Captain," Emily said softly, "maybe we should show them we come in peace, despite our power." Sarah nodded, understanding the scientist's concern. She turned back to the screen. "We don't want war," she announced, "but we will not be ignored or mistreated again. We propose a new arrangement, one of mutual respect and cooperation." In the council chamber, the aliens looked at each other uncertainly. They had never faced a situation like this before. Glixna, the moth-like alien, stepped forward. Perhaps we should listen to them. Much can change in 5 years." Thor's eyes flashed angrily, but he knew they had no choice. The humans held all the cards. "Very well," he said grudgingly. "We will hear you out. But know this, the Council does not respond well to threats." Sarah's expression softened slightly. "It's not a threat, Thor. It's a promise. A promise that humanity is here to stay. We can be your greatest allies or your worst enemies. The choice is yours." As the council members murmured among themselves, Emily felt a mix of pride and anxiety. They had achieved their goal. Humanity was back on the galactic stage. But what would happen next? Would there be peace or war? Understanding or conflict? On the Nemesis, human crew members watched the unfolding drama with bated breath. Engineers stood ready at their stations, prepared for anything. Soldiers gripped their weapons, hoping they wouldn't be needed but ready if they were. The fate of humanity, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. The next few moments would determine whether the stars would witness a new era of cooperation or the beginning of an interstellar war. As silence fell over both the council chamber and the Nemesis, one thing was clear: the galaxy would never be the same again. The next day, the Galactic Council chamber was transformed into a negotiation room. On one side sat the alien representatives, led by Thor. On the other, Captain Sarah Martinez and Dr. Emily Chen represented humanity. The air was thick with tension. Thor spoke first, his tentacles twitching nervously. "Humans, you have violated the terms of your banishment. By all rights, we should destroy your ship and punish your species." Sarah leaned forward, her eyes hard. "You could try, Thor. But I think we both know how that would end." Emily quickly intervened, hoping to ease the tension. "What my colleague means is that conflict would benefit no one. We're here to find a peaceful solution." Glixna, the moth-like alien, nodded in agreement. "The humans seem to have changed. Perhaps we should hear them out." For hours, they talked. The humans explained their advancements, their new technologies, and their desire for a place in the galactic community. Many council members listened with interest, but others remained suspicious. "How do we know you won't use these technologies against us?" asked a reptilian alien named Solar. Emily smiled. "Because we understand the value of cooperation now. Isolation taught us that we're stronger together than apart." As the talks continued, word spread throughout the station. Alien diplomats and scientists clamored for a chance to see the Nemesis up close. Captain Martinez agreed to allow a small delegation to tour the ship. On board the Nemesis, alien visitors marveled at human technology. They saw engines that could bend reality, weapons that could reshape matter, and computers that could outthink entire planets. "Impossible," muttered one alien scientist, his 4 eyes wide with disbelief. "You've achieved in 5 years what took us centuries." Sarah grinned. Never underestimate human determination. Back in the council chamber, debates raged on. Some aliens argued for accepting humans back into the galactic community. Others wanted to maintain the banishment, fearing human unpredictability. Thor remained opposed to human reintegration. "You're too dangerous," he insisted. "Your history is full of violence and conquest." Emily stood up, her patience wearing thin. "And your history is full of arrogance and prejudice. We've grown beyond our violent past. Can you grow beyond your biases?" The room fell silent. Many aliens looked ashamed, remembering their own species' dark histories. Suddenly, alarms blared again. A junior officer burst into the room, panic on his face. "Council members, we've detected a massive energy surge from the human ship." All eyes turned to Sarah and Emily. Thor's face twisted with rage. "See, they betray us already. This was all a trick." Sarah raised her hands calmly. "It's not what you think. We..." But before she could finish, the chamber's main screen lit up. It showed the Nemesis, its hull glowing with strange energy. Then, to everyone's amazement, a massive hologram projected from the ship. The hologram showed Earth, but not as the aliens remembered it. This Earth was clean, peaceful, united. Cities gleamed with advanced technology. Vast forests covered once barren lands. Oceans teemed with life. Emily stepped forward. This is what we've accomplished in 5 years. We didn't just build weapons. We healed our world. We united our people. We're not the same humans you banished. The aliens watched in awe. Many had tears in their eyes, moved by the beauty of the transformed Earth. Glixna spoke softly. I think we may have judged them too harshly. Even Zixthor seemed at a loss for words. The proof of human advancement and change was undeniable. As the hologram faded, Sarah addressed the council again. We don't want to fight you. We don't want to conquer you. We want to work with you, to learn from you, and to teach you. The galaxy faces threats bigger than any one species. Together, we can face them. A murmur of agreement spread through the chamber. The mood was shifting. Even the most hardened anti-human aliens were reconsidering their stance. Emily and Sarah exchanged hopeful glances. They had come here prepared for war, but hoping for peace. Now, it seemed that peace might actually be possible. But just as the atmosphere in the room was warming, a new alarm sounded. This one was different. Urgent, terrifying. Alien faces paled in fear. Zixthor looked at a data pad, his tentacles trembling. No, it can't be. They're here. The Devourers have returned. The room erupted in panic. In the chaos, Sarah grabbed Emily's arm. This is it, she said grimly. The real test begins now. As fear gripped the Galactic Council, humanity stood ready to face a threat that could unite them all, or destroy everything. The Galactic Council chamber descended into chaos. Alien representatives ran in all directions, their earlier composure shattered by the news of the Devourer's return. Order. We must have order. Zixthor's voice boomed over the panicked crowd, but for once, no one listened to him. Captain Sarah Martinez turned to Emily Chen, her face grim. Emily, what do you know about these Devourers? Emily shook her head. Nothing. They weren't in any of the alien databases we accessed. Glixna, the moth-like alien, approached them, her wings quivering with fear. The Devourers are ancient. They come every 10,000 years to feed on entire planets. No one has ever defeated them. Suddenly, the main screen lit up again. This time, it showed a massive fleet of organic-looking ships, writhing and pulsing as if alive. They were approaching the Galactic Council station at an alarming speed. Zixthor finally managed to quiet the room. Our defenses are useless against them. We have no choice but to evacuate, every species for themselves. Sarah's eyes narrowed. She grabbed a nearby microphone, her voice echoing through the chamber. No, running is not the answer. We stand together, or we fall alone. The aliens looked at her in disbelief. Emily stepped forward, addressing the council. Humanity faced extinction before. We know what it's like to stand on the brink, but we also know the power of unity. Together, we have a chance. For a moment, silence reigned. Then, slowly, aliens began to nod in agreement. Glixnay spoke up. The humans are right. We've grown weak in our complacency, but perhaps together, we can find strength. Zixthor looked conflicted, but finally nodded. What do you propose, humans? Sarah smiled grimly. We fight. The Nemesis was built for more than just showing off. Emily, contact the ship. Tell them to prepare for battle. As Emily relayed the orders, Sarah turned to the alien representatives. We need every ship you have. And we need to know everything about these Devourers. Knowledge is power. The chamber burst into action. Alien diplomats became war strategists. Scientists shared data. Battle plans were drawn up. On the main screen, the Devourer fleet grew closer. Their ships were massive, easily dwarfing even the Nemesis. Tendrils of energy reached out from them, probing the space ahead. They're scanning us, an alien technician reported, looking for the most life-rich planets to consume. Emily's mind raced. That's it. They're attracted to life energy. Maybe we can use that against them. She turned to the alien scientists. Do you have any way to simulate life signs? To create a false reading? A tentacled alien nodded enthusiastically. Yes, our terraforming technology could be modified to create such a signal. Good, Sarah said. We'll use that as bait. Draw them away from populated systems. As the plan came together, the Nemesis moved into position. Alien ships, once enemies, now formed up around the human vessel. A ragtag fleet of different designs and technologies, united against a common foe. Inside the Nemesis, human crew members worked side by side with alien volunteers. Engineers modified systems on the fly, incorporating alien tech to boost their capabilities. Sarah stood on the bridge, watching as the Devourer fleet changed course, following their bait. All ships prepare to engage. Remember, we're not just fighting for humanity now. We're fighting for every species in the galaxy. Emily joined her, worry etched on her face. Sarah, even with all our advancements, can we really win this? Sarah placed a hand on her friend's shoulder. I don't know, but I do know this. Humanity doesn't give up. And now, neither does the rest of the galaxy. As the distance closed, tension mounted. The fate of trillions hung in the balance. The Devourers, confident in their power, didn't even attempt to communicate. They simply came, ready to feed. Zixthor's voice came over the comms. Humans, Captain Martinez, I was wrong about your species. Whatever happens next, know that you've united the galaxy in a way I never thought possible. Sarah nodded, even though Zixthor couldn't see her. Let's make sure we're all around to enjoy that unity after this is over. She took a deep breath, then gave the order that would echo across the stars. All ships, attack. The galaxy held its breath as the battle for survival began. Humanity, once banished and scorned, now led the charge against an unbeatable foe. The next few hours would determine the fate of all life in the galaxy. As energy weapons flared and ships clashed, one thing became clear. The Devourers had never faced anything like the combined might of a united galaxy, and at the heart of that unity stood humanity, showing the stars what they were truly capable of. The battle raged across the star system. The Nemesis led the charge, its advanced weapons tearing through the organic hulls of the Devourer ships. Alien vessels swarmed around it, each fighting with everything they had. On the bridge of the Nemesis, Captain Sarah Martinez barked orders. Concentrate fire on the lead ship. Don't let them regroup. Emily Chen worked furiously at her console, coordinating with alien scientists. The bait is working. They're following our false life signs away from populated areas. But the Devourers were powerful. For every ship they destroyed, 2 more seemed to take its place. The united fleet was being pushed back. We can't hold them much longer. Glixna's voice crackled over the comms. Her ship had taken heavy damage. Sarah gritted her teeth. We need something big, something they won't expect. She turned to Emily. What about the reality-bending drive? Could we use it as a weapon? Emily's eyes widened. It's risky, but yes. We could create a localized space-time distortion. It might be enough to disrupt their fleet. Do it, Sarah ordered. As Emily and her team worked, the battle outside intensified. The Devourers, sensing victory, pressed their attack. Ships on both sides exploded in silent bursts of fire and debris. Zixthor's voice came over the comms, strained but determined. Humans, whatever you're planning, do it fast. We're losing ships by the minute. Inside the Nemesis, engineers and scientists from a dozen species worked together, modifying the reality-bending drive. Sparks flew as alien tech was integrated with human ingenuity. It's ready, Emily announced. But using it might destroy the Nemesis. We'd be at the center of the distortion. Sarah nodded grimly. If that's what it takes to save the galaxy, so be it. She opened a channel to all ships. This is Captain Martinez. All vessels, fall back to minimum safe distance. We're about to try something unprecedented. As the Allied ships retreated, the Nemesis stood alone against the Devourer fleet. Its hull glowed with strange energies, reality itself seeming to bend around it. "Now, Emily," Sarah shouted. Emily activated the drive. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, space itself twisted. A massive distortion spread out from the Nemesis, engulfing the Devourer ships. The effect was catastrophic. Devourer vessels were torn apart, their organic hulls unable to withstand the warping of spacetime. Some ships imploded, others were stretched into unrecognizable shapes. But the Nemesis wasn't spared. Alarms blared throughout the ship as systems failed, and hull breaches opened. "Abandon ship," Sarah ordered. "Everyone to the escape pods." As crew members evacuated, Sarah and Emily remained on the bridge, guiding the ship deeper into the heart of the Devourer fleet. "You should go," Sarah told Emily. "The galaxy will need that big brain of yours." Emily shook her head. "We started this together. We'll finish it together." The two friends shared a smile as the ship shuddered around them. On the view screen, they watched as the last of the Devourer ships were consumed by the spacetime distortion. Just as it seemed the Nemesis would be torn apart, a tractor beam blocked onto the ship. It was Glixna's vessel, badly damaged but still fighting. "Did you really think we'd let you sacrifice yourselves?" Glixna's voice came over the comms. "That's not how allies work." With the last of its power, the Nemesis reality-bending drive deactivated. The distortion collapsed, taking the remains of the Devourer fleet with it. In the aftermath, the Allied fleet regrouped. The Nemesis, battered but unbroken, was towed to safety. As Sarah and Emily stepped onto the Galactic Council station, they were met with a sight they never expected. Aliens cheering for humans. Zixthor approached them, his tentacles drooping in humility. "Captain Martinez, Dr. Chen, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I offer our deepest gratitude and our sincerest apologies. We were wrong about humanity." Sarah smiled tiredly. "We all have room to grow, Zixthor. What matters is that we faced this threat together." Glixna fluttered forward. "And together is how we should remain. The galaxy needs humanity's spirit and ingenuity." Aliens of all shapes and sizes nodded in agreement. The mood was one of exhaustion, but also of hope and unity. Emily looked out at the assembled species, her heart full. "So, what happens now?" Sarah put an arm around her friend's shoulders. Now we rebuild. We learn from each other. We explore the stars together." As news of the victory spread across the galaxy, a new era dawned. Humanity, once banished and forgotten, had become the catalyst for a united galaxy. The stars, it seemed, were only the beginning. In the face of extinction, humanity had not only survived but thrived. They had shown the galaxy the true meaning of resilience, innovation, and unity. And in doing so, they had changed the course of galactic history forever. 1 year had passed since the defeat of the Devourers. The Galactic Council chamber, once a place of tension and mistrust, now buzzed with excitement and cooperation. Representatives from every known species gathered for a historic occasion. At the center of the chamber stood Captain Sarah Martinez and Dr. Emily Chen, their uniforms adorned with medals from a dozen worlds. Beside them, Zixthor and Glixna waited with barely contained anticipation. Zixthor raised his tentacles for silence. "Esteemed colleagues, honored guests, today marks a new chapter in galactic history. Today, we officially welcome humanity into the Galactic Council." The chamber erupted in cheers. Aliens of all shapes and sizes applauded, some using tentacles, others wings or pincers. The sound was deafening but joyous. Sarah stepped forward, her voice carrying across the room. "On behalf of Earth and all humanity, we are honored to join this esteemed body. Our journey here wasn't easy, but it proved that together we can overcome any obstacle." Emily joined her, adding, "The spirit of cooperation that defeated the Devourers now fuels a new age of discovery and progress." Human scientists are already working with alien colleagues on breakthroughs that will benefit all our peoples. As if on cue, a holographic display activated in the center of the chamber. It showed images from across the galaxy. Human doctors treating alien patients with advanced medical techniques, alien engineers marveling at the reality-bending drive, joint expeditions exploring uncharted worlds. Glixna fluttered her wings excitedly. And that's not all. Thanks to human creativity and our combined technologies, we've made a breakthrough in faster-than-light travel. The galaxy has never been more connected. The hologram shifted to show a new type of ship, sleek and powerful, emblazoned with the symbols of multiple species. Behold, Zixthor announced, the first of our new joint exploration vessels. With these, we'll push the boundaries of known space further than ever before. Sarah couldn't help but smile. Just over a year ago, they had been outcasts. Now, human ingenuity was helping to reshape the galaxy. But the proceedings weren't over yet. An elderly alien, skin like bark and leaves for hair, stepped forward. "There is one more matter to address," he said, his voice soft but carrying authority. "The position of Galactic Council leader has long been held by Zixthor, but after recent events, a change has been proposed." A murmur ran through the crowd. Zixthor looked surprised but not displeased. The elder continued, "It has been decided that leadership should be shared. And so, we ask Captain Sarah Martinez to join Zixthor as co-leader of the Galactic Council." Sarah's jaw dropped. She looked at Emily, who was beaming with pride, then at Zixthor, who nodded encouragingly. I'm honored," Sarah managed to say. "But surely there are others more qualified." Glixna chirped a laugh. "Who better to lead us into a new era than the one who showed us the way? Your species' unique perspective is exactly what the galaxy needs." As Sarah stepped up to accept the position, the chamber once again filled with cheers. Humans and aliens alike celebrated this new beginning. Later, as the formal ceremonies wound down, Sarah found a quiet moment with Emily on a balcony overlooking the vast expanse of space. "Can you believe it?" Emily asked, gazing at the stars. 5 years ago, we were banished. Now we're leading the galaxy." Sarah shook her head, still in awe. "It's incredible. But you know what? I think this is just the beginning." As if in response, a streak of light shot across the sky, one of the new exploration vessels, heading out to uncharted space. "You're right," Emily agreed. "There's still so much to discover, so much to learn. And now we'll do it together with all these amazing species." Sarah put an arm around her friend's shoulders. "You know, when we built the Nemesis, I thought we were preparing for war. But really, we were building a bridge to a future none of us could have imagined." As they watched more ships take off, carrying mixed crews of humans and aliens to the far reaches of the galaxy, both women felt a sense of limitless possibility. The stars twinkled, seeming brighter than ever before. Humanity had not only found its place in the galaxy, but had helped forge a new, united galactic civilization. The adventure, it seemed, was just beginning. And as news of these events spread to Earth, humans everywhere looked to the sky with new wonder and pride. They had faced extinction, overcame banishment, and emerged as leaders of a galactic community. Humanity had truly shown the universe what they were capable of. The future, vast and bright, awaited.